Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Wow, this day did not go as planned. See, here's the thing. I was going to do this thing through the whole month of October with my manga reviews where I was going to do these little Halloween skits intermixed, to make it kind of interesting. And, yeah, because the manga chapter came out today, that kind of screwed up my plans. I didn't even get everything set up here I wanted. I wanted this all set up for today, and I got the pumpkin out, I got the Executioner's Blade of Death out, I got the spiders and the glow sticks, which serve no purpose. I'm never going to use these. I don't know why I put them up there, but I had more lights and this thing and the happy werewolf and some tombstones and a eyeball that serves no apparent purpose and whatever the hell this thing is. But well, maybe it's not so bad. I mean, I did get the strobe lights set up in time. Yeah, not sure how many functions I could possibly use with that, but play the credits, let's get started! Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to do Bleach chapter 467 entitled Luckmen. And, you know what, I was going to use Manga Stream this week because everyone's like, oh man, you should do Manga Stream, translations are so much better. And now I remember why I did Manga Reader. Manga Reader comes out incredibly quicker than Manga Stream because Manga Reader came out around, I don't know, 2 o'clock-ish today, maybe closer to 3, and Manga Stream has not updated it as to my knowledge. So, whatever. Anyway, this chapter starts with Yukio about to be eaten by his own demon spawns of hell he created, when Hitsugaya steps into the last second and cuts it in half. I got really excited there for a second. I really wanted to add him to the wall. Toshiro saves him, and Yukio thinks that's because he takes pity on him because of that sob story he told last chapter. That, although, is pretty much nullified in about a millisecond. And instead, Toshiro tells him it's not pity, he just has no interest in his past. And he makes an important point here that even if he kills Yukio, he doesn't know if everything's going to go back to normal, like if the chat rooms are going to disappear or if all his friends are going to be safe. So instead of that, Toshiro says, let's make a deal. And by deal, I mean I'm going to encase you in a giant block of ice. And by encase you in a giant block of ice, I mean you have 5 minutes to push the off button or you're gonna fucking freeze to death. Go! Torture! We don't really know what happens to him after that, but we do get this really interesting transition. I don't know, once again, if it's just Manga Reader specifically, but Yukio is like, shit, I'm... And then it cuts over to Mo, who continues the sentence. He's like, I'm not scared. So I don't know if that means that if Kubo was implying that Yukio also said, I'm not scared, because he was like a whimpering little dog, pretty much, so I'm pretty sure he agreed. But as for right now, though, we're not sure. We'll find that out later on. But he cuts back to Ikaku and Mo's fight, and I think this continues right where it left off, because I remember last time it left off, Mo said that, I'm not scared. So maybe it's like continuing right where it left off. So he yells up at Ikaku that he's the one that's scared because he's the one that's flying, and Ikaku's just like, I'm not flying, I'm just standing here. And Mo is pretty much just like, what? No, you're in the air, you're flying. That makes sense, though. You ever wonder one thing, though, in particular, that I always wondered about Shinigami. They can fly in the living world, but they can't fly in the Soul Society. You ever notice that? It's really cool. It's like things you pick up. I mean, why else would there be like a bajillion stairs up going up Sokyoku? Ikaku comes back to the ground, and he tells him, I wouldn't be satisfied unless I figured out your ability, but it's just too annoying, so I just gotta finish you right here. And you know what? It kind of comes off like Ikaku's like bored of the fight, but maybe he's actually thinking here for a second. I'm like, this kid blows up everything he punches. Maybe I should get on actually killing him. I don't get that about Ikaku. Wasn't it like 3 chapters ago when he told Ichigo, man, you gotta focus on fighting, and that's when he just stabbed Yukio right in the throat? I mean, it was just a computer simulation, but it showed that he didn't really have any qualms about just sneaking up behind a guy and just stabbing him in the back. And here he's actually, fighting him like an equal, but I don't know. So anyway, he says to him, do you want me to spank you like a brat or beat you up like a man? And he actually answers the question. He's like a man, of course. Oh yeah, you show me, Cocky. You stab him right in the eyes. Wow. If it wasn't for this kid getting his dose of karma at the end of the chapter, I would just say his ability is way too overpowered, but we're getting there. But, yeah, so he breaks his Hozokimaru, then he punches him right in the arm, he bounces back, and he notices that he broke a tendon in his hand, I guess, but instead from that, he actually broke his Hozokimaru. And this is, of course, where we get into another manga reader typo. It is not Uzokimaru, it is Hozokimaru. With an H sound. Yeah, that's how it goes. So, yeah, right about here is when I started to realize the similarities between Mo and Ginjo's fight, because Mo is just like, oh yeah, that would have sucked if I hit your head, wouldn't it? Same thing happened with Ginjo. Mo fights Ginjo. Ginjo lifts his sword, he breaks off the sword's handle, and he's like, oh yeah, would have sucked if I hit your body, wouldn't it? Same thing, he's pulling the same tricks here. But Ikaku replies by, yeah, I'm pretty lucky. And finally, like 3 chapters into their fight, we finally get to the whole Ikaku believing in luck, Mo's ability centering around luck. We finally got to that little chestnut there. So yeah, he's like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm lucky because I broke your spear in half. So come on, I'll beat you all up so your luck is bankrupt. Okay, so Ikaku drops his spear and let's just say, hey, let's just fight with fists from now on. Huh? Random Japanese character. That's weird. So anyway, while they're punching each other senseless, Mo starts noticing that his powers is getting a little weaker. He's able to crack his bones, but he's not able to break them. And eventually, he notices that Ikaku's acting like nothing's wrong and his punches are having no effect whatsoever. And then he comes to a stunning revelation that is a great lift on everyone's collective shoulders. His power actually has a freaking weakness. Apparently, how his power works is, the first time he uses his jackpot knuckle, it's a jackpot. But then he says, oh, I've never had to use it a lot in succession, so I guess the more you use it, the weaker it gets. Yeah, the more you use it. And when we say more you use it, we mean about like the 100th time you use it. It's not very clear. I'm not kidding. He's used this ability... I mean, okay, the first time he used it was with Ginjo recently. That was in his fight with Ginjo. He fought with Ginjo using it. He fought with Ikaku using it. He must have used that ability. I mean, we saw him blowing up a bunch of trees. You know, this must be like the least around the couple dozen times he's used this ability. Now it starts to weaken? Really? That's how this works? I mean, up until a little bit ago, he had enough power to still punch through Hozokimaru, so he still must have had a little umph in him. So... yeah, so it has a weakness, like the 50th time you use it. So if you can brave through that, you'll be good. Anyway, he comes to the revelation that he's pretty much screwed, and Ikaku's like, oh, seems like it stopped working. Oh, what's wrong with your face, dude? Not as bad as the last one. Not as bad. I could deal with this. But he asks him, are you tired already? And Mo punches him in the face, and once again, it's not very clear if it worked or not. I mean, we see that he must have punched him pretty damn hard because a big splat of blood comes out of his mouth. I don't know. I mean, he says it worked again, so I guess it did, but not very well, apparently, because Ikaku just grabs his head and epic finish.
Finish him. Fatality.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. You will always be my second favorite fighting game of all time. And if you don't know the first one, you're really not paying attention. Places. So Mo falls, and Ikaku tells him, yeah, you were pretty strong, you did manage to hit a couple vital places, but you are one lucky guy, but I'm the luckiest man in all of the 13 divisions. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Now, I don't know if Mo died or not. I mean, he did get the headbutt from hell, but we'll find out next chapter. So, that's the end of the chapter. Yeah, you know, it was pretty good. I was really expecting, I really wanted the Rukia and Riruka thing, I wanted that to be in this chapter, but, yeah, I think we all did kind of, but it was okay for what it was, you know? I mean, it wrapped up, hey, if nothing else, it wrapped up the Yukio fight, wrapped up the Mo fight. Next chapter better be all Rukia, because we have pretty much nothing else to show, I mean, here. I mean, we have Tsukishima versus Byakuya, but I think that's gonna be like the second to last fight, or maybe go along the same time as Ichigo's fight, because that's like one of the main antagonists there being defeated, probably. So, yeah, I think next chapter we're going to see maybe all of Rukia and Riruka's fight. I don't know, but I was really hoping for that, didn't see it. As for the Yukio thing, I'm pretty sure he chickened out and let everyone go. Maybe that's how the next chapter will start, with the whole world's disappearing, because I don't think Yukio would really stand there and be like, yeah, I'll die for this cause. You know, it's just how he is. So, yeah, and one more thing before I go. Did anyone find it weird that Yukio's console was frozen last chapter, which it clearly didn't work because he tried it and it wouldn't work? And this chapter, he's like, oh, yeah, I froze everything but your head and your arm. He already froze the console. He kind of already messed it up if he was going to mess it up. But, I don't know, maybe that doesn't affect anything, I don't know. But yeah, Tekking101 signing out. Happy October, everybody.